right, welcome back to another episode of the Karter Cast. I'm your host, Karter Baughan. With me, as always, Connor Sparrow. With us today, Twitch streamer, MLB The Show, Tanner Smith. Tanner, plug everything right now.
What is up, everybody? I'm here with the high school guys. As you mentioned, Karter and Connor. Twitch, TrottyBoy13 on Twitch. Same everywhere on YouTube, TikTok, Instagram. If you want to listen to mine and Connor's song, well, it's a little old at this point, but you could go to Spotify and listen to it as well. We got a song. You can listen to it, but you don't have to. But like I said, Twitch, YouTube, TikTok, Instagram, big content. I need you there, TrottyBoy13. Thank you for having me on, Karter.
All right, nice. I'll put the Twitch link and all the other links in the episode description as well. We're recording right now, June 28th. 8:15 Eastern time. This is I don't know when this will be posted. This is the episode that's going in the bank because, you know, sports are kind of dead right now. 4th of July coming up. We need to record ahead of time. So this could be posted in 2 weeks, 3 weeks, 1 week. Who knows? It might be posted next week for all I know.
I don't know about you, Karter, but I just hit Washington Dream WNBA first half -2.5 tonight. So sports aren't dead.
I got an 8-way parlay that I need the Seattle Storm to cash.
I saw 2K Season 8 released a WNBA jersey I could earn. I mean, I've been playing for about 17 hours straight. I mean, it's just the most exciting thing in sports at this moment.
The new season. I love to hear that.
Yeah.
Hey, shout out our guy, Pablo Ruiz on Real Salt Lake. Our guy. All right, today, sports video games draft. This is how it's going to work. We're going to have 5 rounds. So typically, you know, with Adam Stenka, we recorded that earlier today, actually. We did 3 rounds, 3 picks, you know, because we were low on time. Last time with Fat Guy Moves Dress, we did 4 rounds. Today we're doing 5. We have so many picks, we had to do 5. Full episode. That's all we're doing today, just talking sports video game draft. And we need to get some clarifications out of the way. So first off, rule number 1, no phone games. So Madden Mobile doesn't count, Tap Baseball, whatever, Flappy Bird, Angry Birds, whatever.
Big Win Sports. Oh, what a classic.
Yeah.
NBA
all those
card draft, whatever it was called in high school.
Yes. All those are Big Head Soccer. All those are gone. All those do not count. And then the other one, I sent you guys this text earlier, was, does Mario Kart count?
I vote yes.
I vote no. When I think Mario Kart, I just don't envision it as a sports game. Is the issue?
Oh man,
I think I got to vote yes on this one. I played it so much as a kid.
But is it a sports game?
Do we consider NASCAR a sport? Because if we're talking about racing, Mario Kart's a racing game. Is NASCAR a sport? If we consider NASCAR a sport, I think Mario Kart has to be allowed.
There's another Mario. What about Mario, like Mario Super Sluggers? Is that going to be allowed? Because that's a sport.
Yes, that's baseball. That's baseball.
So we're allowed.
But like racing's different.
Racing's a sport. Racing's a sport.
I personally think I would consider NASCAR a sport. I think those left turns are really important for some people. Not me.
Okay.
All right. Mario Kart.
Majority rules then. Mario Kart is going to count in this draft. That opens the board up like crazy. And then the other thing is we need to decide an order right now. How should we decide this order real quick? Any ideas?
How would y'all do it this morning?
My first idea was the placement we finished in our fantasy football league this year. We don't have to do that. But
that's fine. We can do that. I finished last out of us.
I was middle of the road, made the playoffs, got bounced.
Okay. That means Tanner gets the first pick.
I lost in a Madden simulation game. That's how my fantasy season ended. Good, congrats, Eli.
We have unprecedented circumstances during that. All right, so Tanner, you're up, I guess.
Okay, perfect. It's going to go Tanner, Connor, Karter, and then snake around, and we're going to go 5 picks. And we're not going to do categories. It's just kind of everything goes. We're not going to do one soccer game, one hockey game, whatever. Anything goes. We'll put it on the graphic. We'll do everything. Tanner, start the draft off.
I tell you what, this is. Yeah, I needed that because this is one of the most important drafts, if not more important than our usual fantasy draft. I mean, video games been a part of my life ever since, honestly, the original Xbox and the GameCube. So on here on my board, there's some good names. But as a person who put a lot of time into this game with friends the single-player game modes, Connor knows what I'm going to go with as my leadoff of the console video game draft. And by the way, Karter, these are determined via years. So if somebody's saying FIFA, they could go 15, 16, 17 if they go NHL, 2K, any year. But mine is going to start with NBA 2K16, one of the peak games of my high school career, a game I put way too many hours into. 2K16, my first pick in the console game draft.
Now, remind me, Tanner, was that the year you were sniping Ruby Clay off the auction house, or was that the year before?
Ooh, that was actually, as Karter mentioned, I do Twitch stream. I did start Twitch streaming in that year of 2K, and I had some sad moments in that year. And sniping Ruby Clay for hours was one of those sad moments now that I look back at. But it's a highlight of that game.
That's prime content, though. That's prime content. I like the pick. Karter, how do you feel?
I had a different NBA 2K as my pick, but the thing is, you have to go near and dear to your heart. You can't pander really in this draft because if you're, 2K16 is the game you played the most, and that's the game you put the most hours in, you loved the most. You have to pick that one. You can't say, let's say the fan favorite was like 2K18 or whatever. You can't go ahead and say, oh yeah, 2K18. I know 2K18 sucked, but I'm giving an example here.
I think that's the wrong one.
That's one of my honorable mentions because 2K18 was my best year of my team. 5-out cheese with Pink Diamond Ben Simmons calling the same play. That's not my pick. That's not my pick.
Don't spoil picks. But let's go.
Sorry, I'll pull the Woj there. All right, so I'm up.
Yep.
All right, second pick of the draft. We're sticking with NBA 2K franchise. We're going 2K15 for me, and for one very specific reason. This is the year my team really took off. I did, quote-unquote, the shake and bake method of you buy the whole collection, you get the reward, and you sell back the players. They've since patched that. You have to lock the reward now or whatever, and you can't sell them back. But it was just such an easy way to get good cards. And man, oh man, Diamond Chris Mullin is top 3 best cards I've ever used in any type of video game ever. He was a cheat code. And yeah, that was just the game I spent the most hours with. My team was great that year. Park was fun. Rec. So Jordan Rec Center was great.
I feel like in my mind, I wasn't hardcore into the NBAs. I was a FIFA guy. 15 and 16 blend into me. I feel like they're the same game. That's my problem with the pick.
I got to say, when Connor mentioned the shake and bake method, that was also the year Connor lost to shake and bake on my team, posted on YouTube. That was a well-watched video within our friend group. But I tell you what, as two people, Karter, as me and Connor grew up playing this game together in high school, those two games for us don't blend into each other because they were so they were so good at both my team and my career. We had such a blast, and then ever since that day, 2K has been very scary. But none of those are going to be in my honorable mentions. But 2K15, a solid first round pick.
Like you said, Karter, you can't. It's got to be near and dear to my heart. I can't pander around. So
exactly, and that's why I'm running to the draft board, handing in my ticket, my first pick of the third overall pick, first round. Give me FIFA 15. FIFA 15, unbelievable. I mean, the hours we put into this game, the hours I put into that game, the amount of packs I opened, the amount of sitting there doing the EA Sports glitch where you can get free FIFA points accounts. The amount of games I played, it was a disgusting amount of hours. There was a sweatshop running in my hometown, in my home basement in North Carolina.
I was going to say, let me just paint the viewers a picture here and the listeners. There might have been, up to 5, 6 Xboxes in that basement at one time, all doing the account glitch, and then all going to get cookout like midway through, and then watching the league on the TV. I mean, I didn't even play FIFA up until that point. The only reason I got into FIFA was because of this account glitch. Honest to God. It was like, wow, what a free way to make money and get good cards. And we probably stole thousands of dollars from them.
I didn't say that. I didn't say that.
I'll say it.
I don't think we were the only ones doing that, though, in the world. I think that was a well-known thing and never got patched. I got to say, it did seem like World War III was going to start when Team of the Season came around that year. And Blake, one of our friends that we're all close with through our fantasy thing, packed Team of the Season Lacazette, I'm pretty sure. And I think everybody was enraged because he was the one everybody wanted. And it was chaos. It was absolute chaos.
The thing about, you can say the knock on FIFA 15 was, I don't think Weekend League was on there yet, which Weekend League is fun. I've probably broken, I haven't played FIFA since 19 really, and I think I've broken probably 4 or 5 controllers just off Weekend League alone.
Nothing makes me more mad than that game.
Yes, exactly. But Weekend League is insane. But FIFA 15, the one thing I liked most about that game is there weren't too many overpowered cards or too many good cards. Now, like, everybody has 99 Legends, 96 Ronaldos, 99 Messi.
Shapeshifters.
Yeah, all this stupid
You should see
crap.
2K.
Yeah, exactly. Like, it's, it's kind of, we can talk a little politics here, but it's kind of in line with our country, a little inflation, too many high overall players that kind of cancel out and doesn't mean as much anymore. So
the gas goes up, so does the player overalls.
Yes, so like getting an 87 Hernan Crespo, he was awesome in FIFA 15. Now he wouldn't even be playable in FIFA 23.
He's going in the SBC. Karter, I got to say, 1 point on FIFA 15. You're talking about overpowered cards. The most overpowered front three of all time. Doumbia, Gervinho, Ibarbo. To this day, best cards I've used in FIFA.
Can't forget
what,
it.
What
Can't
a time.
forget it.
I'll go my next pick easily. This pick is blind, easy. I think this is going to look the best on the graphic by far. It's NCAA Football 14. Nothing better than playing Dynasty on NCAA Football 14. You recruit your team. You start off. You always choose your favorite team. So, for example, Connor, you're a Carolina guy. You start out doing Carolina, and then eventually in a year or two, you win the national championship. Then you're like, all right, let's do a real challenge. Then you go and pick like Idaho, and you eventually take Idaho to the college championship. I always chose either like BYU or Duke or whatever. But NCAA Football 14, game that has lasted the test of time. Like you see,
people still play it.
I literally have looked up Xbox 360s just to get this game. Like, I want this game so bad.
They're bringing it back. They're bringing it back.
Are they?
I think next summer.
I heard it's being remastered or something
they
like
say
that.
But it's kind of like Damian Lillard updates. Like, okay, enough's enough.
Karter, we didn't hear what he had for breakfast today. Does that mean he's going to Miami or not?
Exactly. That's a different podcast. But NCAA Football 14, I think it's a no-brainer pick there.
All right, that's a good pick. I had a couple, but I'm gonna go with this one for my second pick of the draft. NCAA March Madness 2008. Kevin Durant, Texas Longhorns on the cover. This is very near and dear to my heart. It's right when I got the Xbox 360. I got like a plethora of games with it. This was my favorite one because they didn't use the actual player names or anything. It was just like their numbers because they didn't have the likeness rights. Shout out Ed O'Bannon. But they definitely had the same numbers and they looked the same as the players in real life. It was just so much fun. You play Blacktop. You can start up a little dynasty thing. I always use Carolina. They had a great team in 08. Final Four run. Hansbrough, Ty Lawson, Ellington, Danny Green. Just a game very near and dear to my heart. Played it all the time. NCAA March Madness 2008.
I thought you were going to go 2010.
No, I thought about it, but 08 is the one that I really played the most. It was the original NCAA basketball game I played, and it's just kind of what got me into it. So
I gotta say,
yeah, I was going to say I was still into like that was when that transition happened from like, okay, is it NBA Live or are you going to start playing 2K now? So
that was a little bit later for me. That was like 2K11 for me.
Yeah,
I think the first NBA Live I picked up was the one with Kobe on the cover.
2K10.
Was that live 2K10? That was the
2K10,
first live I ever picked up.
That was the first of my career.
Yeah.
Yeah, you got destroyed by Eric Bledsoe in the in like the draft combine.
Yeah, a little. Yeah, exactly.
It might be bad, but Connor, I actually never played any of those college hoops games,
which is fair.
I know. Yeah, I never played those.
Hey, you know what? It's my draft pick, near and dear. That's fair. I can't argue that.
Yeah, that's I mean, you got to pick where your heart lies. You can't pander. But like I said, like. NCAA basketball. I wasn't a big fan of it, but that's okay. It's your game.
I'm not picking to please the listeners, Carter. This is my draft, my franchise. I think it's going to develop into a nice young core.
All right, and let's just see how it plays on the graphic. Tanner.
All right, with my second pick, I know I get back-to-back picks right here, which makes me a little bit calmer because, some of these picks can get taken from me. I'm going to go with a pick, and I think when it comes to games as a whole, generations of consoles, a game that is still sold out in many places. As we mentioned, NCAA football being one of those games people still play to this day, having fun on franchise, stuff like that. The game we were arguing with at the beginning of this stream, I got to go Mario Kart. I really do. Mario Kart is an absolute classic. The original Wii Mario Kart, the first where you had the steering wheel. That is my Mario Kart choice. I'm not going to go like Mario Kart Double Dash. I think the Wii one was generational. I think when the incorporation of the plastic wheels that used to break so easy because it had like the B trigger in the back, and it just never worked for some reason. Mario Kart on the Wii with the steering wheel, Rainbow Road, unbelievable game. I can't pass that one up.
I agree. I used to play it on the Wii all the time. I played it on the DS daily. So I think that's good value here. I don't think you can go wrong with this pick. It's a safe pick, Carter. The floor is high for this pick.
It's not the best Mario Kart.
Wow.
I would say there's 2 other Mario Karts that are better.
That is shocking.
So that's Double Dash, and then what's the other one?
I'm not going to spoil picks, but I'm
Mm.
just saying there might be two Mario Karts that are better. The Wii's a great game though. The thing is, because most people that are probably going to see this on like the TikTok or whatever, like everyone's going to know Mario Kart Wii, and they're going to be like, Mario Kart Wii was the best. Now, did they play 64 or the GameCube? Probably not. It might have been too old. So that's why I'm saying Mario Kart Wii's probably a good pick. It's not, but I'm not a Mario Kart Wii guy. I'll just put it out.
Do we have a Shams tweet right now saying Karter Baughan is targeting another Mario Kart with his third pick in the draft right now?
Luckily, my scouts are wired in on this call, so they know exactly what's being told right here. And I have not quite. I think
I don't think I have to wait out. I don't think I have to worry about my draft picks getting taken the rest of this draft. I just had to make sure. FIFA 15 was the only one I had to make sure I grabbed off the board. I think the rest of them I was like, okay, I think I can get these no problem. But Tanner, you have your back-to-back picks.
Oof. All right. So as a fan of sports and a fan of console sports, I think I'm going to switch it up. We've been talking about these fan favorite games, and I think I'm going to pass up on one right here that I'm going to try and let slide. It's going to be tough for it to get back around to me, but I'm going to try and make this one game slide to me. But a game, one of the first consoles I ever played a lot. I had the 64 and stuff like that. I was too young to really play that a lot. The first game system I ever played a lot was the GameCube. And the GameCube, this game is going to be NFL Street, one of my favorite football games of all time. Backyard football, you play at jails, you play at these tight football fields. It was an absolutely unbelievable game. You get Game Breaker. I mean, you can't beat NFL Street. Arguably my favorite football game.
Was there a specific year
of all time? I think it was the original NFL Street.
Did they have Henry Ruggs on that game? Or? Sorry, that was uncalled for.
It's not getting. I'm not editing that out either.
That's fine. I'll own that. I'll wear it.
I think NFL Street was NFL Street 1, 2, and 3. I think the one I played the most was 1, the original NFL Street.
We'll get the most popular one and put it on the graph. Just making sure NFL Street. I like that pick a lot. NFL Street's such a fun game. Such a fun game.
I like that pick too. All right, I'm up next, and I'm digging back here in my childhood now, and this is the first ever sports console game I ever played. The one that got me into sports games, really, and that's Madden 2004, Michael Vick on the cover. I was young. I was 5 years old. I played that game for a couple of years, though. I mean, when I was that young, you weren't buying the game every single year. You had a game, and you played it for a couple of years. Madden 04, Mike Vick was a cheat code. 95 speed. You run QB boot around the edge, you're beating the linebacker every single time and scoring, or at least getting 50-yard gain. So much fun for me as a kid. Really got me into watching football. I even started liking the Falcons for a little bit just because of that game. I know, sorry. I'm a Panthers guy, but I did. Mike Vick was a cheat code in that game. It's near and dear to me. That's my pick. Madden 2004.
I played that game so much. When you look back, the graphics on that game are so bad.
Gosh.
I think Steve Smith is white in that game.
That doesn't shock me at all. I mean, but at the time, you're like, oh my gosh, this is amazing. And now 20 years later, it's been almost 20 years since that game. Think about that. That's unbelievable.
Madden 04 is a good pick.
Thank you. That's what I'm going with.
I do agree. I think with the current state of Madden, I've not really played Madden seriously probably since about Madden 15, 16, and like the Madden 25 era. I'm not a big fan of Madden games at this current moment. So when you go back to the older Maddens, they're just so much more nostalgic. A great pick.
It's copy and paste the last few years on Madden. It really is. I mean, we can say that with 2K. We can joke about it. It really is with Madden. So
it really is.
All right, we're gonna venture into the GameCube world for my next pick. So we're third round, third pick of the third round. My next pick, GameCube. We're going Mario Baseball. Mario Baseball on the GameCube. GOAT game. It's the best baseball game. Like Tanner, I know you stream MLB The Show all the time. You should just start streaming Mario Baseball because it's infinitely better. It's the best baseball game that's ever been created. On the GameCube specifically, it's way better than the Wii one. Playing GameCube controller is such a good controller. It's so good. And the game, that's when my video game anger and temper tantrum started, where when I would have to play against Bowser and the Hammer Bros would knock like 3 Grand Slams on me when I'm 8 years old, and I'm slamming controllers on the floor. Mario Baseball.
Then you get the yell from upstairs, Karter, stop it!
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, Karter.
Yeah. I tell you what, Mario Super Sluggers was the game I wanted to get back around and try and let slide. I thought there was no way. As all 3 of us are cultured men in this community, and that's a great choice. I got to say, when it comes to Mario Baseball and Mario Super Sluggers, Petey Piranha will forever be the greatest pick in Mario Super Sluggers history.
Well,
if you
and
do
then
not pick Petey Piranha.
And then your second pick has to be like Monty Mole, just so they can fly.
Yes, Monty Mole in center field. It's unbeaten.
Double jump on the wall. Good Lord.
The Yoshi's tongue is unbelievable in the outfield.
Clip that right now.
Let's
clip off the outfield part.
Yoshi's tongue is unbelievable. The magical things Yoshi's tongue can do for someone, and outright
loves grinding balls. So
can we get a confirmed
joy?
Can we get a confirmed gender on Yoshi, or no? That's not.
I'll go they. I'll go they. I think
okay, all right.
I think she it.
All right, no. It has to. Yoshi's a male. You got Birdo or whatever the pink.
I thought Birdo was a dude. I'm almost positive Birdo's a dude.
I don't think he identifies.
We might need to get stats department on that one, but anyhow.
We need to get the devs on it.
Scouts on it immediately.
All right,
your pick, Karter.
First pick of the 4th round. I have my 2. I don't think either of these are going to get taken, so I kind of can go wherever I want. I'm going to let the other one slide. I'm going to go ahead and take an NBA 2K. I'm going to go NBA 2K13. 2K13 was so fun. The right stick was so overpowered in that game, and you know who else was overpowered in that game was Derrick Rose. J.R. Smith was absurd in that game. You could even get away with some Shannon Brown at times if you had to play with the Lakers.
Brown.
Those guys, any guy that could had a decent jump shot but could just dunk out of the gym was so overpowered in that game. I loved NBA 2K13. That's the one I played the most. It might not play the best on the graphic or anything, but had to go true to my heart. NBA 2K13 is my pick of the first pick of the 4th round.
I like it. Wasn't there still crew in that game? Crew mode too? 2K13?
Yes, that was crew.
So that was there. I enjoyed 13. That was a couple years after I started playing it, and I really started heavily playing it, probably around 13, 14. So
I was debating between 2K11 and 2K13 because 2K11 is when the franchise totally shifted because that's when, when they put Jordan on the cover, my career got so good, and you're like, oh my gosh, dude, this game, this is a must-buy every single year.
2K13 was actually the first 2K I ever played because that's when I got my Xbox 360. Obviously, we're talking about sports games. 2K13 and MW2 were the 2 essential games I had on my Xbox 360.
Good pick, Karter. I like it.
Connor, next pick.
This is one that I think there's insane value here. I think this is a multi-time All-Star pick, and that's Wii Sports. Come on, guys.
I had Wii Sports written down.
I did too.
Nobody's taking Wii Sports. I mean, think of the versatility. You can play tennis, you can bowl, you can box, you can play golf. It's unbelievable how many things you can do on that. And that is one that just ages like fine wine. You know what? You can't binge Wii Sports, can't play it for 10 hours a day like my team, but you go back to it.
But does it age like fine wine because nobody ever just has a Wii. Like, nobody ever whips out the Wii with the AV cables and stuff.
Okay, but it aged like in the 8-9 years that followed its release. Like maybe not like now in 2023.
So what the main games? Because like tennis was kind of stupid because tennis you just had to just go like that and you would.
And that was fun. You could just camp the net and then just like wave your arms around in front of the net. I mean that was amazing.
I think bowling and golf golf was the GOAT.
Bowling is the Wii Sports GOAT. I gotta say.
Because once you got the perfect game on Wii Bowling, you're like, I've accomplished life. Like, yes, I'm him.
I personally loved baseball on there. As a baseball fan, I thought baseball was awesome.
Wii Sports is a great pick right there. I had Wii.
Thank you.
I have 2 that I was waiting for. I was gonna pick Wii Sports as my last pick. I was gonna try and get it at Mr. Irrelevant.
I did enjoy the baseball, Tanner. Like you said, you had all the me's, you had like all your friends and family on there, randomized teams. It was really cool just to like see the people on there. And as far as like just Wii Sports in general, what a perfect like hangout game. Like before you could drink when you're younger, before you could drive or anything, when you're sitting in the basement with your friends.
You drink and drive now?
Of course not. Get those keys away from me.
Henry Ruggs is just having an all-star performance on this podcast.
We need to stay away. Stay away.
Oh, man. The point I wanted to make is that it's just the perfect thing to whip out with your friends when you're 14, 15. You just got the Wii there, play some bowling, play some tennis, mess around. You know, it's just a great all-around family game.
And the other thing, I don't know about you guys, I would it's like if you're a kid and you have to wear a bike helmet, like you never actually wear the helmet. Same thing with like playing Wii Sports. You never actually put the thing around your wrist. You're like, I'm not putting the thing around my wrist. Like I'm not going to lose the controller. Every time playing bowling or golf, you'd always throw the remote.
I was going to say, speak for yourself.
I got to say, with Connor's pick too, like he mentioned, you get 5 sports in one. It also comes with all the training modes that, that the behind the scenes games where you got the 100 pins, the 90 pins when it comes to bowling, all that kind of good stuff. But when it comes to holding a classic, I still get TikToks to this day where people will drop a bowling ball in real life at the bowling alley and they'll flip and people do jump and spin. And also you'll have in baseball where you'll have lines of friends and they'll be looking in at the camera. I think Wii Sports holds cultural
impact.
Yeah, it does. It does. It holds a cultural
fair,
impact.
because also you see the TikToks where it'll be the meme and it'll be like single. And, there's
like
so
nice approach. Or last thing I'll say about Wii Sports, it was the introduction of Matt, the greatest supervillain that Wii Sports has ever seen.
True.
So,
very true.
This is villain origin story.
Yeah, Wii Sports, great pick there. That one,
thank you.
That one's going to be, when we did the Fat Guy Moves draft and Ben got buying groceries on the way home, or going out to eat after buying groceries. I think that's going to be the similar pick here.
Thank you.
So, all right, Tanner, back to back. Close out your draft.
Back-to-back picks to close out my draft. And I got a lot on my board, which makes me happy. But I do still have number 6 and number 7 on my draft board, which makes me happy, and it makes me want to take these two. I think it's kind of unbelievable right here. I stream MLB The Show, as Karter mentioned. I'm not going to take a baseball game until my very last pick in the 5th round.
Which was fine because we weren't going to take him.
Yep. know your audience. Know your audience.
My 4th round pick is going to go to another car game. It's going to become a more up-to-date game. I got to go Rocket League. Rocket League is an unbelievable game for me. I think Rocket League is a game where I enjoy. It's a solo game where I enjoy playing by myself. It could be very competitive, which I love. Mm-hmm. I'm pretty decent at it, but Rocket League is a game on my Xbox One and my new gen Xbox that I have a great time playing. Rocket League is a pretty special sports game to me.
And that's one of those games that doesn't really get stale the more you play it. Like, you could take a month or two off and then come back and play it, and you're still having fun. I had that on my list. I had it starred, so we're allowing that, Commissioner?
Yeah. If we allow Mario Kart. And also, even if we weren't allowing Mario Kart, like, that's still a sports game. Like, you're playing soccer.
Okay.
It's car soccer.
I like
car soccer.
Yeah, that's a great pick. That's going to be another one. That might even, for certain video game people, that might even, like, outweigh Wii Sports, because if you really play video games, people love Rocket League. I never got into Rocket League, unfortunately. I was too invested in my stupid FIFA team that was never that good because I was never willing to buy Microsoft points. But
just scam them instead.
Yeah, exactly. You got to take money from Microsoft. Who cares? Screw them. Rocket League, phenomenal pick there.
Thank you. I got to say, before I say this next one, are we going to mention like an honorable mention or 2 or 3 at the end?
Yeah, we'll do honorable mentions. We'll do honorable mentions at the end.
Perfect. All right. Another personal favorite. The last pick in the draft, small but mighty. I feel like I don't really know how large of a community this game ever got. It is not a current game. It's going to be my first baseball game I choose in this draft, and obviously my only one. But I'm going back to the Wii. And the people who played this game know how special this game really was. I don't know if you two have ever played this, but this game right here, MLB Power Pros. MLB Power Pros was one of the most unreal baseball games I have ever played. If you've ever played this game, like I said, you know how special this game was. An amazing My Career game mode, amazing franchise game mode. You could do everything. It was on the Wii. Just an unbelievable game all around. I don't know if you guys have ever played it, but that's going to be my baseball pick. I think arguably my all-time favorite baseball game.
I personally have never played it, but I know there's going to be a pocket of people listening to this that know exactly what you're talking about and probably agree.
Yeah, I've never heard of the game before, I'll be honest.
It's special. You guys might need to pull out the wheel one day and just fork.
It's a sleeper pick. It's a sleeper pick, Karter.
I'm looking at Tanner's board right now. Tanner has a lot of cult favorite picks. Like, these are people that are, like, if they know MLB Power Pros, they're like, oh my gosh, that's the steal of the draft. Or, they love Rocket League or NFL Street kind of thing. People are going to, he's got a very culty draft.
I like it. I think it's good value. There's good value there.
We'll see after this draft who wants to join the Trod Squad. That's what it'll be.
Connor, you're up.
Yeah, so there's two that I'm deciding between. It's going to be a tough decision. I'll say the other one in honorable mention. I'm going WWE SmackDown versus Raw 2010. And on the Wii, this is a sleeper pick, but like Tanner's draft board, I think this is a culty pick. Big Show on that game, cheat code, 7'3", 300 whatever pounds. I mean, I was playing it with my brother. I had friends over. We were playing it. We were smacking each other around, throwing people in the ring. Wrestling was huge during those years of my childhood. I think it was for a lot of people probably listening to this. That game was the best one I've played. WWE SmackDown versus Raw 2010. Loved it. Loved all the WWE superstars. Used to go to the shows, had the wrestling figures. It was great. Near and dear to my heart. That's the fifth and final pick.
I've never played it. I never played any of the wrestling games. I've always wanted to play like the UFCs or whatever, see if they're actually fun or not. But I have nothing to add here to this pick.
Yeah, it's another game I haven't played, but you know what? I really like the trend that me and Connor have went down for these last picks. As you mentioned, sleeper picks, you guys get to really see what truly held us together as children. Like these games are near and dear to our heart. They might be near and dear to some of yours, but also I'm expecting a lot of people that listen to this probably might introduce themselves at some point if they're ever bored one day to go try out some of these games that you never have tried.
All right. I like it. Mr. Irrelevant here. I think for people that are older, I grew up with older siblings. I was the youngest, and so all my siblings, some of them are 15, 20 years older than me. So I grew up playing Nintendo 64 constantly. And I'm going Mario Kart 64 here with Mr. Irrelevant. Mario Kart 64 is an elite game. It's what took the franchise and took it to the next level. That's the first Mario Kart I ever played. I had Double Dash. I love Double Dash. I like Double Dash more than Mario Kart Wii. Mario Kart 64, though, I have to go with my heart because it's the first one you play. The shortcuts on that game are amazing. The Rainbow Road shortcut is unbelievable, where you can jump all the way across the map to the other side. I think anybody who's older than, let's say 26-ish, 27, that sees this graphic, they're going to, their jaw's going to drop when they see Mario Kart 64 as Mr. Irrelevant. So Mario Kart 64 right there from the last pick of the draft.
Great pick.
I wanted to take Mario Kart Double Dash 2, but there's only room for one Mario Kart, and you got to go with your heart.
Fair enough. Like I said, the N64 was a little bit before my gaming time. When I started as a kid, it was PlayStation 2 and GameCube. Those were the biggest two gaming consoles I started off with that really ignited my whole gaming career. So 64 was a little bit before me. So I never got to witness the greatness of N64 Mario Kart.
So good.
I started on the original Xbox with Mortal Kombat and, like I said, Madden 04. Yeah, I never really played this Mario Kart, but sounds like a good pick.
Great. It's oh my gosh, it's such a good game. So glad to get that as the last pick. All right, let me run through the draft boards and then we'll do honorable mentions. Tanner's draft board. First, NBA 2K16, Mario Kart Wii, NFL Street, Rocket League, MLB Power Pros. Connor's board, NBA 2K15, NCAA Basketball 08, Madden 04, Wii Sports, WWE 2010, and then my draft board was FIFA 15, NCAA Football 14, Mario Baseball on the GameCube specifically, NBA 2K13, and Mario Kart 64 to round things up. Tanner, give us a couple honorable mentions.
Ooh, it's a good board.
I actually 7 of my games did not get chosen. I'm not going to go through all 7.
I had a few of those too.
I got to say, as a baseball fan, obviously I got to have at least one baseball game in here as an honorable mention. I'm going to go any of the slugfest games. I'm off the years right here. Slugfest games where you could beat people up. People had flamethrower abilities. Slugfest. If you ever played Slugfest, amazing series. Gotta love Slugfest on the GameCube. I'm also going to go Tony Hawk Pro Skater 4.
I had Tony Hawk Pro Skater as an honorable mention, too. It was on my board.
Tony Hawk Pro Skater, a PS2 game of my childhood. Played it a lot. I don't think it deserves to be in my top 5, but right there, borderline, Tony Hawk Pro Skater. And then finally, I'm going to end this off, or I'm going to do 2 more if that's okay. Third, I'm going to go at Tiger Woods PGA Tour 04 on the PlayStation 2.
Okay.
Tiger Woods,
it's a good one.
One of my favorite golf games of all time. Tiger Woods PGA Tour 04 classic. It kind of sort of had like a my career game mode type thing, you know. You always love those kind of games that have a grind where you get to be like one of the greatest, and I think that's why I lean that way. Finally, I'm gonna go Wii Sports Resort. I know Wii Sports was.
You can't pick Wii Sports Resort though after Wii Sports was taken because it's such a slap in the face.
No, I agree. I was not gonna do that. Wii Sports Resort was a little bit further down my list too. I do think Wii Sports tops Wii Sports Resort, but I think Wii Sports Resort deserves an honorable mention for the things it included.
That's fair. There's some good honorable mentions, especially I love Tiger Woods PGA Tour. I love those games, so that was good.
Connor, did you have any, or did you run through?
Oh, I do. Number 1 honorable mention, I almost drafted it over WWE, Mario and Sonic, the Olympic Winter Games. I love that game. I don't know,
like the DS, the DS version,
DS or Wii, yeah, either one.
I think if you draft these games, you get them on all consoles essentially. Like if that one's on Wii and DS, I think you get it on both.
Yeah, well, that one was number 1 honorable mention, Mario Sonic Olympic Winter Games. A couple more I had on here. I had NASCAR 08 with Tony Stewart on the cover, solely because that was the first year I had Xbox 360, got the wheel, got the gas pedal. I was in heaven racing that game, so that was on there. And then the last one I had on there that didn't get picked, NBA 2K12, solely because of the intro, Curtis Blow, the iconic intro song. I could rap it word for word right now. I'm not going to bless y'all's ears with that.
Best 2K intro of all time.
Yeah, best intro of all time. And then the last one I had 2K18 just because my team 5 out, Pink Diamond Ben Simmons glitching. I felt pretty grimy and slimy and disgusting after playing that game, but it really got my gears turning, man, let me tell you.
Carter, let me just explain. I know you're not the biggest 2K player. 2K18 is generally known as one of the most hated 2Ks of the franchise. And for Connor to like that game because he exploited many things people hated about that game, it's near and dear to my heart in a bad way.
That's what I was going to say. Well, that kind of goes into my honorable mentions. I had FIFA 19 on there. FIFA 19 early on in the game, you just had to double tap finesse, and every single shot was going in. Double tap finesses were so overpowered. I also had FIFA 13 on there. The soundtrack on that game, I may have put more hours into 13 than 15 maybe, just, coming home after school, grinding. Nothing, and the other overall thing about this, maybe we'll do like a best days draft kind of thing or whatever one day. Like, there's no better day ever than getting a snow day and getting to play video games all day. Like, nothing's better than that. FIFA 13, FIFA 19. I had NCAA Football 09. That was just in case 14 got drafted. But
I had that too.
Diddy Kong Racing, great game.
Okay.
NBA Street Volume 3 or 2, both of them were fun games, but I don't think they were worthy enough to get drafted. Mario Kart Double Dash, obviously. Mario Tennis on the 64 is a great game. And Mario Super Strikers is going to be a big miss on this board.
Yeah, I agree. I was actually thinking about Mario Super Strikers. Didn't really make my honorable mention because I personally never got around to liking it, but I know it has a big following. A lot of people loved Mario Super Strikers.
I liked Mario Baseball more. And then last one I had was Backyard Sports, and any of those.
That's
games.
A good one. That's a good one.
And I didn't have, but I don't think they were better than what we had.
And I know this has been a console draft. I did have 2 mobile honorable mentions. I think honestly, Madden Mobile might take a spot out of this board if that's we're talking about any game, any sports game in general. Also,
strictly just because you can just play it during school, like whenever you're just sitting there in class, you're like, here we go. Oh my God, that tap baseball.
Then the last one I had was NBA Jam. Thought NBA Jam was electric. Those are the two sports mobile games that I really thought led my way through middle school, high school, that type of stuff.
All right, well, perfect. That's our draft board. Let us know if we missed anything. We'll put out the graphic whenever we put out this podcast. Tanner, thank you so much for joining once again. Connor, thank you, as always.
A pleasure.
Make sure to subscribe to the podcast. Check us out, cartercast.com. Subscribe, rate, and review on YouTube, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, wherever you're listening. Thank you so much for checking us out. Do what you can to do to help out. And Tanner, one last plug before we go.
Come over to the Twitch, TrottyBoy13 on Twitch. I'll see you guys there. If you guys like baseball, if you guys like good content, if you guys like an engaging person, you're missing out. Come on through. I need you.
It's a great follow. Over 5K on Twitch now. Over 5K followers on Twitch.
Trot Squad.
What, like 12K on TikTok? You're killing it right now. So
yeah, TikTok Live has been huge. I appreciate all the support. If anybody in here is already following and listens to this, on our way to hopefully a big finish to 2023, and it's been awesome. It's been awesome. It's really fun, and I appreciate you for having me on, Carter.
The Kartercast even sponsored the most recent MLB The Show tournament, so shout out to that.
All right,
big sponsorship in the podcast.
Thank y'all for tuning in, and we'll see y'all next time.